That's awesome. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Take Back Your Plate Success Chat. We're excited. Today is June 7th. We've got some great topic, and really glad to see you all. So hello to everyone that's already on. Marlene, Dottie, Aaron, out getting some extra credit, it looks like.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. We're really excited to have you guys here, and welcome to everybody who is watching on the recording as well. So we're excited to see these calls pick up, I think, and take off, and just really excited to share some good things. There's some great things that are continuing to build, and I love that. So this group has been open, what, is it officially 1 month today, I think, Jen?
I think it is, yeah.
1 month today, and just to see like the amount of people checking in grow, the amount of people losing weight grow, like I think this is exactly what this program is built for, right? Is that you take those first few weeks to learn, to track it and see, and then you find what's working for you, what's not working for you. And I just think this month is going to be such a golden month, right? Because we have so many people who have now started and are really getting it, right? Being able to put it together, understand what's going well, what's not going well, to where I think this is going to be a really big weight loss. So one thing that I'm going to tell you is to really make sure, you guys, that you're doing the videos, so I know we kind of know the two bunnies, and even just knowing that you apply them, and we're losing weight, right? But there's 21 learning videos that Alana has put together for us, because they'll help us be even more successful, right? Some things that I hear people struggling with, whether it be how to eat out, or some of the plate it and how to put your food together for your breakfast, your lunch, your dinners. Like, there's so many things that are going to help you through those videos. Some of those hard moments, right, where maybe the scale's going up, or maybe you're not losing weight, or maybe you kind of fell off for a few days. If you have listened to those trainings, like, that's now knowledge that belongs to you, right? And you can learn and you can apply that, but only if you have used it, right? So if you've gone through all the videos, I'm going to encourage you to go back through them again. So I had gone back through a couple of the videos, but I really pushed myself to start this week to just take a moment to go through 1 or 2 videos a day. And there's things that I'm learning that I just didn't pick up the first time, right? Or maybe it's more meaningful, and I needed to hear that more now than I did then. But you guys, this isn't just kind of a listen to these one time and then they're not applicable anymore. Like, as you go through this journey, as you go through changing and, putting this lifestyle in place, you're going to be in different points at different times. So take that opportunity to go back through those. Jen did a really awesome video in the group on how to use the learning units that we put together. So now all of that material, you don't have to scroll through the feed to find out where that is. So to go to that units tab that's in the group and start going back through that information. Or if you haven't gone through the videos, pick up where you are and start following those daily posts and that schedule that for the week, and put aside time in your calendar. Okay, so I want you guys to take that action item, like right as we finish this call, is to sit down with your calendar and mark what videos you need to watch each day, and set aside that time to be able to do that, because it's going to make a big difference. Some of those struggles, you might say, okay, that just gave me the idea that I needed to overcome that and to move forward. So that's what I wanted to tell you, number 1. Number 2, again, fueling your mind is going to give you power, right? The more knowledge you have, the more power you have. So we want to give you an opportunity to incorporate some personal development into what you're doing. So with our fitness group this month, we are reading the book called Finish by John Acuff, Jonacuff. And so we wanted to just encourage and provide this community with the opportunity to join us in reading that book this month. So it's a great read. He's got some funny stories in there, but it's really, the book is about how to finish a goal, right? It's easy to start. It's easy to get started. You find that motivation, you find that momentum. How many times have you stopped on yourself? Have you given up? Have you not moved forward, or continue to start new things so that it eliminates the opportunity for you to finish something, right? That's perfectionism talking. And this book gives you, talks about some of the lies of perfectionism and gives you the opportunity to see how you can overcome those, how you can simplify things, how you can take away all that pressure to really make your goals achievable. So I really love it, and I encourage you guys to do that. We're going to start posting a couple of times a week, just a post or two about the book as we start reading that. So we're going to start doing that next week. So pull up Amazon. You guys can get that book, or you can listen to it on audio. A lot of times I love listening to audiobooks because I don't get as much time to actually sit down and read. So Audible is a really good one, or Overdrive in your library has a lot of great options and things like that too. So, but get that book finished. I really encourage you to start making that a habit to read or listen to some type of personal development for 10 to 15 minutes a day. All right. Jen, do you want to go over recognition, or do you want me to do that?
Go ahead.
Okay. Awesome, you guys. Okay, so last week we started really focusing on some more recognition in this call, and we're going to do that in this call as well as in the group. So I want to take some time to recognize our leaderboard. So we're going to talk about the top weekly check-ins. So these are the top 15 people who checked in to the group this past week. And then we're also going to recognize those who rang the bell this week and their total weight loss too. So let me pull up, because I've made a graphic so that we can all see this. Let me close down this here. All right, can we see that? Okay, so congratulations. These are our top weekly check-ins. Checking in every single day: Mandy Dickinson, Dottie, Amanda Stanford, Deb, Marlene, Paula, and then 6 days a week: Mary Devaney, Jen Jenkins, 5 days, Lori Simmons, Aaron Huber, congratulations, Don Flint, Tina Salisbury, Jennifer Lip, Mary Ellen Heskett, and Tiffany Portman. So those are our top 15. So congratulations, you guys. I think everybody on here is on that list, so no doubt. So congratulations. And then I also, those who rung the bell this week, and you guys, this is exciting because this list is over 50% bigger than it was last week. I think we had 3 people ring the bell last week, and this week we have 7. So Dottie, congratulations. She's down a total of 8 pounds. Mary, congratulations, down a total of 6 pounds. Sarah Roadhouse, down 2 pounds. Amanda Stanford, down 10 pounds. Don Flint Hill, down 2.6 pounds. Aaron Huber, down a total of 4 pounds. And Stacy Hammond, down a total of 2 pounds. So congratulations. I know there's some that maybe are right where I am. I'm going to make sure I'm on this list. I'm so close to that 6 pound mark. And but ring that bell. Go into the, what are those called? Announcements in the group. And anytime that you are down 2 pounds more from where you began, make sure that you ring the bell and then list what your total pounds lost are for the week. But congratulations to everybody on that list. I'm super excited with that.
It is. Yeah, it's helping David.
All right. So Jen is going to be teaching us tonight. And before we do that, we like to talk a little bit about, here's Kennedy. You say hi. She loves to say hi. We're going to talk a little bit about some things and how the week is going. So I want you to share 2 things, and I'll put this in the chat so you can see it as well. But I want you to tell us, what's your go-to recipe? What's one recipe that you really have learned to love turning to, or that you turn to? Maybe it's a snack or a meal that you turn to often, but what is one of your go-tos? And then one area that you're struggling in. That will help us as we put together some additional training and things in the group, and maybe some suggestions tonight that can really help. Okay, so one go-to recipe, and then one area that maybe you're struggling or need some solutions in. Marlene, do you want to go first?
Sure. My go-to recipe is taco salad. I love tacos, and that way I get my veggies in, and uh, whether I use ground chicken or ground beef, either one of it. I use
I don't
the
know how this
lean
works.
ground beef. So that's my go-to. It's easy. It's quick. My struggle is sweets. I struggle with sweets horrible.
Any particular sweets, Marlene, or
No, I
any
just like,
particular times of day too?
a lot of times it's when I'm at work, I want sweets when I get pressure or when I feel pressure upon myself. And at night, I'm horrible at night. I'm like search my cupboards and I don't have anything in them, but that's to go my sweets. But that's my struggle.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna let everyone talk, and I'm compiling the struggles here in the chat. So then we can kind of talk about it, because I just bet we're just gonna find some similarities. But sweets. So sweets, like especially with like stress or late night, you are not alone, my friend. I deal with that too, for sure. So, all right, good. So I'll go next. I'll just go in order here. So my go-to recipe, what I'm really loving, is the Brussels sprout hash. So, and it was funny, like I didn't buy stuff for that this week because I thought I would try something different. And then, of course, my son opens the fridge today and he says, "Do we have any of that Brussels sprout stuff?" Who thought that a 14-year-old would say that? So just check it out from the recipe. I mean, I just usually use my food processor, grind those up, and cook them with a little coconut oil and some bacon. And, a lot of times for breakfast, I'll put an egg over it, and it's really good, and put it with a side of toast or some sweet potatoes. But that one has just been really great for a lot of different meals. So I really love to go to that one. So I think my biggest struggle is just continue to work on that mindset with the scale, right? I'm just so used to like kind of getting lazy when I see that scale go down that makes me kind of like be okay with letting some of the little things in that after a couple of days really add up, right? And so my weight loss isn't tracking downward because, I let a little bit more of those eating opportunities that I probably don't really need into my life. So it's been good to see that and kind of track and look at that so that I can continue to just kind of work on that, getting out of that diet mentality, I guess would probably be the best way to put it. So, okay, Jen.
Okay, so my go-to recipe has been the cauliflower recipe from the book, the cauliflower rice with the soft cheese, and then and I add protein to it. So I've been doing just like a bunch of grilled chicken breast early in the week. And then I've been getting a bag of frozen cauliflower rice I can cook in the microwave. And I've been having that probably 3 to 4 times a week, either for lunch or dinner. Super easy to pack and take with me to work, but also great just when we've been getting home so late at night, not to have to spend a lot of time prepping for dinner. My struggle right now is the time factor and not having a plan. So I've really hit the junk food and the frozen food hard this week. It's just, it's one of those weeks where you feel like you're constantly on the move and you don't have time to sit down and breathe or think or, to even think about a meal. So you're just kind of grabbing whatever's convenient, and definitely paying for it today with a headache and feeling gross. I want to crave vegetables. I just don't. And I need to create that craving.
Mm-hmm. I think time, right? Time really does that. The longer you're away from kind of those sweets, the more desirable that is, for sure, I think. Yep. So good. I love that cauliflower risotto too. That's really good. My family really, really like that. Dottie.
My go-to recipe this week has been the cauliflower fried rice recipe. I actually had some leftover pork roast, and so I added a little bit of that to it. and my husband just absolutely loved it. He said you couldn't tell it was cauliflower. I think you can tell a little bit, but he really liked it. He said that he would like for me to make it more often.
Yay.
And so, yeah, absolutely. And my biggest struggle is always on the weekends because we're so busy and we're always going somewhere. And so, like, at a restaurant, it's not so difficult because you have choices, but when you go to somebody's house and they're cooking, and I realize that I could bring things and take to it too, but sometimes if you don't do that and then they don't have a lot of veggies, you know, it's like barbecue and potato salad and baked beans and that kind of stuff. And it just makes it tougher because even if you just eat a little bit, I feel like, and I do enjoy it, but yet I struggle to not have a gain then the next day.
Right. Okay, good. That's a really good one to talk about, I think. Awesome, Dottie. And I'm glad your husband loves that. My husband said the same thing. Tomorrow we're having something more Chinese, and I said, I think I'll go get a head of cauliflower. I can't believe I forgot to buy that. And he's like, oh yeah, we should definitely do that. So I'm like, okay, that is a huge win when you find good ones at your grown children.
Well, I made spaghetti squash too this week, and he said he'd never had it before, but I just did, I'm sorry, with a little bit of sauce on top, and he really, really liked that too. He said that was a keeper as well.
I think they're really good because they're very homey, right, and filling. So I think that makes it really, really good. So awesome. Okay, Paula.
Hi. I really don't have a go-to recipe from the 2B Mindset recipe book that we got, but Wes and I do a lot of broccoli Alfredo, chicken Alfredo, because it's easy. We steam the broccoli ahead of time and it's quick to make when we're on nights and we just got off of nights. It's hard when your husband doesn't want to eat all the same things that you want to eat. So it's hard to get him on board with it all. He does very well for some things, but other things he's not on board with. He's a meat and potato man.
Yeah. Awesome. Good. Well, and it doesn't have to be a favorite from 2B Mindset for sure, you know, but some of those go-tos really help, especially when you're in a pinch or, you know, you just need something quick and familiar and easy to make. So that's awesome. You should share that one with the group. That sounds really interesting. So good. And struggles. Any struggles, Paula, right now, or things that you need some help or advice?
Oh, yeah. Well, the only time I struggle with sweets is when it's that time of the month, and I have a tendency to want sweets a couple days before, and I usually eat them because I don't like them normally. I bake a lot and take it to work, but I don't normally eat them. But when it's that time, I have a tendency to want candy bars, cookies, anything sweet, caramel rolls. And so that's my struggle.
Awesome. And Jen, it wasn't last week, it was the week before. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. If you go back 2 weeks and maybe I can kind of create a document where I can list all of our previous success chats. But Jen did a really good training on PMS cravings 2 weeks ago. And had some really, really great ideas. So I'll make sure to create that document so that we get that into the group. So you guys can go back through and look at those training topics too. So
awesome. That would be great.
All right, awesome. Okay, Erin, maybe you can unmute you. There you go.
Does that work?
Yep.
Perfect.
You can eat them now.
So like my struggles, it's always the planning. Like I can never, like I was running to the store because I didn't grab everything when I needed it. But other than that, like my go-to recipe, I always do like a grilled broccoli. It's fantastic. It's just a little bit of olive oil, lemon juice, throw it on the grill, and then top it with Parmesan cheese.
There you go.
That's usually my go-to.
Awesome. Grilled broccoli. That sounds really good. That's a great one too. And easy stuff. I love having the grill now to throw vegetables on and things like that, like asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, green beans can be really good and easy. Those are really good too. So cool, good. All right, and we've got, is it Mary Ellen, I see?
Okay, I don't know how to do this.
You're good. I gotcha.
All right. I don't really have a go-to. Lately, it's just grabbing carrots and taking them with me out the door. And I struggle with just trying to find some time to watch videos or to make sure I have a menu. This week's been a lot better than previous weeks, but just trying to make time to actually go to the grocery store and do things. This week I had my husband and daughter go grocery shopping for me, so it got done. So
Delegate. You got it. That seriously probably is one of the best things that we can do, is really kind of, and I think sometimes, you know, where sometimes our family isn't on board with the meals and stuff, but if we can kind of get them involved a little bit with what's going on, right, and get them into that world, sometimes the food part takes care of itself too. Okay. I'm going to put these all up here. Jen, let's pick a couple of these to kind of just take a minute and we can kind of go through. But cravings, so as far as like cravings, so the sweets and the PMS cravings and things, I'm going to repost those trainings that we did, because the first one we did was on cravings. So Marlene, I think that'll give you some really great suggestions for stress and for late night. And then also in the second one we did, Jen did that training on PMS. So I'm going to repost those, but those will be things that we can incorporate into the group too, because I think that those are really, those are for sure ones that are important to do. So how about, Jen, maybe a little bit on weekends, like being in a different routine, or, you know, eating when you're not cooking. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I know for me on the weekends, especially in the summer, what really helps me is to batch cook. So I'll pick like 1 or 2 proteins and just cook like 3 times the amount that I need, so that it's in the fridge on that weekend and I can just pull it up and warm it out. It takes away the thought process of trying to figure out what to eat that fits the plated mindset, and I know that it's available. And then to keep veggies that are washed and cut and prepped in a baggie in the fridge, but not in the crisper drawer. If I keep it like on the second shelf, like at eye level, when I open, then I'm more likely to eat it than I am if I have to dig around the veggie drawer or slice it and wash it and do all of that business. You know, it's that time factor, and it's where I've fallen off this week, because I didn't do those things to help me to make it easy, right? So I think those really help me on the weekends. And as far as eating in other people's house, I think it just comes down to, you know, you have to enjoy those opportunities to create fellowship and your friendships. Like we do like a potluck every Friday night with a really good group of friends, and it's just, for me, I just take the opportunity to enjoy the time. I try to have a shake or a veggie snack before we go, so I'm not starving when we get there, and then I can eat a smaller portion of whatever they fixed for the meal and still feel full and satisfied, and that I haven't set myself back on the progress that I'm trying to make.
Perfect ideas. I think that's really good. Dottie, I would have said the same thing. Like, you know, eating beforehand is always great. You know, you brought up the suggestion to bring something with you too. So like when you have the opportunity to do that, that definitely helps. But I agree with Jen, even like eating smaller portions, right? You know, maybe having your water bottle, drinking from your water bottle, focusing on, you know, the purpose of what you got together for. And then, you know, if you need to grab a little bit of something later, do that. I also found, like, I keep a couple of things just in my purse, and this could be, I probably wouldn't pull this out at a party, but again, before you eat, oh, I like your meals. Let me pull out my purse. I got this whole selection for myself. So, but like,
I can see you running to the bathroom with your purse and
picking up your my Shakeology and my shaker cup. Yeah, that would be awesome. So, but really, like, you know, maybe one month you get your Shakeology in the single packets, so you could keep a couple in your car, in your purse. Same with the beach bars. I really like to do that. And then, you know, like Jen said, that idea with the veggie bags, like I have them on my shelf. So like if I'm like heading out, I always just grab one and put it in my purse. Sometimes I don't use them, but that way if I'm out longer or something kind of goes awry and I'm not home, you know, at least I've got something that I can snack on and feel okay with that. So, and Mary Ellen said that too. That's a really great idea with the carrots, or just something really simple. So those are a couple of things. And you know what? It's not going to be perfect all the time, and it's okay to take some eating opportunities and sometimes enjoy that, you know, just be mindful of like the portion size, or, you know, maybe with some things it's just one bite to taste. You know, just take some of those things that Alana teaches too and apply those into those settings. Because definitely, again, this isn't a deprivation type of scenario, but you know what your goals are, you know what kind of day you want to have. So, you know, work around those things and, you know, be satisfied with that too. So I think that's a really great one. And then I'm going to just take a little bit as far as like planning. So you guys got to put time aside. You just have to like schedule it just like you do picking up your kids from ball practice or getting to a doctor's appointment. You really have to do that for yourself. You've got to just make time. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of things that does for you. Not only, you know, helping you get through the materials and things, but there's something that happens inside you when you give yourself time too, right? So that is as much mental as it is actually physically finding time. And it's a hard conversation with yourself, because a lot of times that means maybe you have to fail at something else, and not fail like, you know, you're terrible and can't do it at all, but, you know, fail as in, you know, you have to, if you're going to give time to one thing, it often means we have to give up time for something else, you know. So maybe there is something that you can, again, delegate, or, you know, just kind of put to the side for a project that you can put to the side for a little bit of time to help you kind of get into the routine of having that planning time. But you can do it differently, right? You know, maybe, you know, I've gotten to the point where I can pretty much plan out my week when I sit down and do it, but I couldn't always do that. I just couldn't physically say, I just felt overwhelmed in that task. So instead, I would just make sure before I put anything in my mouth that day, I would write down a game plan for my meals, right? It was just one day, but it was okay because it gave me a plan going forward, and it was much better than I did with just trying to wing it, right? So, because then I would just get frustrated, and the moment that I felt like I did something wrong, I just gave myself permission to blow the rest of the day. And then I'd wake up the next morning and I'd feel terrible, you know, and I would just beat myself up about that. So give yourself permission to do better. You know, it doesn't always have to be perfect. So give yourself permission to be better, and, you know, to help yourself move in baby steps, you know. But you've got to, if you can really put some structure to setting aside some time. And I do this with a lot of things, right? With our budgeting, we never spend all the time we need to. Like, we always just let those things like say, okay, well, tomorrow. But, you know, if we really want it to be important, we just got to, you know, put that seal and stamp on our calendar and make that time important too. So work with it, take time, you know, give yourself some grace through the process, but keep going with it too. So, all right, Jen, training. How long do you need? Do you want us to relog back in and give you a little bit more time?
Oh, what do we have left? 10 minutes or so?
Yep, 10 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I just, I watched a video from Alana, and she was talking about weight loss goals, but she took it further than what we saw in the training videos of think 2 pounds at a time. So she said to not just focus on the next 2 pounds, but really take your weight right now and envision the number 2 pounds less. And that's, you're going to tell yourself that's what you weigh, that's where you're at right now. Because she says what that does is it creates this inherent goal in your mind to get there, because that's where your attention is focused. And then you're going to become more aware if you're eating like that number that's 2 pounds less than you are right now. So she calls it an RT, the road to. So the road to, and then whatever your next 2 pounds is. And she says, you know, to write this in your tracker every day until you hit that, and then you go 2 pounds more. And it's the whole, you know, read it and write it, and it becomes ingrained. She also talked about, which I thought was really interesting, how she, if you don't know, she just had a baby, like, I don't know, a week or a week and a half ago. And so she's also in weight loss mode using the same program right now. And she was talking about how her weight loss has stalled, how on Tuesday her weight was the same as it was on Sunday, even though she didn't change anything. And she was still following all these principles and you know, water first and veggies most, and she was just feeling really discouraged. And so the encouragement is if this is where you are at also, is to really take a look at your tracking and try to identify why it has stalled. You know, if you've lost that 5 to 10 pounds from where you started and you've been having that afternoon snack, maybe you don't need it anymore, you know. Be more diligent in your tracking. Are you truly eating an FFC, or is your FFC more on the verge of being something silly? How is your digestion? You know, that's a huge one. I know, you know, if you don't get to fill in that emoji every morning, your weight's not going to continue to go down. So if you're not filling in that circle in your tracker every day, what can you change in your meals the next day to get more fiber in your diet? And is the food you're eating serving you? So are you finding yourself comforted by your food, or are you finding yourself more comforted by the idea of weight loss? And that one really hit home for me this week, especially being stressed and tired and just, you know, feeling like I'm pulled in a million different directions. I've definitely been more comforted by food than by the potential for weight loss, which explains why I've just stagnated and stalled. So we all know that weight loss gets easier when we develop that mindset of we can't have something to not wanting it. And that's where that wanting to crave vegetables things comes in that I mentioned earlier, because our bodies learn to crave what we consume. So if we consume more vegetables, if we drink more water, if we limit the silly things, that geographic of our food every day is what our bodies are going to want more of. And that's what we need to be focused on. You know, we want to feel empowered by the number going down or meeting whatever goal you have, and setting your weight loss goals. You know, it's really important to not only think 2 pounds less, but maybe you need to expand that goal a little bit and make sure that your goal is timely. You know, when do you want to be 2 pounds less? Is it by a wedding at the end of the month? Is it by a 4th of July celebration you're going to? Is it 2 pounds less by Labor Day? You know, or are you on the road to the RT 10 pounds less by Labor Day? So set a specific timeline for you and your weight loss goals, and that will help it become more real and measurable, realistic, but also attainable, because again, that's where we're focusing our attention to. And I think it's really important also to make our goals flexible, right? So we can stay on our weight loss journey, but maybe our approach has to be flexible. So if our weight has stagnated and stalled, it's probably because we've changed nothing, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes. And if we want to continue making progress, we have to really use our trackers and figure out what we need to change to kickstart that weight loss again. And again, you know, it's all about the mindset. We're here to learn. So there's no such thing as perfection. There's no such thing as falling off. I've had several learning days now in a row, and all I can do is take that information, dial in back on my RT, and start again tomorrow. You don't have to wait till Monday or a new week or a new month, or, you know, it can start right now. And I think if we can train ourselves to think in the moment rather than feeling like we've let ourselves down or disappointed or you know, we're not going to hit that Friday goal of 2 pounds down, but focus on what we can control right now. I think we'll feel the most success in this program. We can lose weight. We will lose weight, and we care to lose weight. And I think I'm going to start writing that in my tracker every morning. I care to lose weight. And I'm going to open it up on my desk every morning like I was last week when I had a really great week, so that it's there. It's that visual reminder, right? Like all the sayings on our water bottles. And try to get myself back into creating that positive mindset that will help me create positive weight loss and overall, right, feeling more positive about life in general, because we're feeling better. So I just wanted to mention one other thing as far as stalling on weight loss and your goals, that where I'm at right now, our temperatures have been really crazy hot, and it's starting to get dry again with not much humidity. So if you're in a similar climate and you're not losing weight, you could be because you're not drinking enough water. Even if you're hitting, your daily weight divided by 2, in this warm weather, we really probably need to be drinking 30 to 40 ounces on top of that to keep our bodies hydrated, because as our body temp increases and we sweat more, right, we're losing that water. So we need to replenish that at a quicker rate than maybe we were 6 weeks ago or a month ago, I guess, is when we started. So if you look back in your tracker and you've been hitting your water goal and your plated has been really great, but you're not seeing that number move, maybe try bumping up and drinking another bottle of water every day and see if that doesn't help kickstart your weight loss. Now, I'm just really short and sweet. I think we had some really great discussion tonight as we went through everyone's struggles for the week. Celebration was awesome. I love seeing that list grow of people ringing the bell. And you guys, I've never been a part of a group that has built such a community online as what we're creating right now in our Take Back Your Plate group. And I think it's just phenomenal. And I want us to continue building that momentum and in the community and really make this a place where we can come to share every day. Hey, you guys, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm home from work. I've got a million things to do and I want chocolate. Somebody help. Right? So it's a place to turn to rather than the pantry.
Right.
But I think we're doing great, and I'm just so excited for everybody that has been so actively engaged here. And you guys are the ones that are hitting that leaderboard. And if you stay engaged, you're going to continue hitting that leaderboard.
Yeah, keep it up, you guys. It's been great. We'll add those things to the group, and we'll use these topics for sure in our post this week. Really great feedback. So keep it up, you guys. Thanks for being here.
Have a good one.